You're here, I'm queer, and welcome back to my channel. You guys have seen the title of this video, and yes, we will be making a CHAPPELL ROAN doll. I am so excited for this doll transformation, and I hope you guys think that it is as iconic as CHAPPELL ROAN. There are so many looks to choose from because CHAPPELL ROAN is turning looks left and right, but I thought let's go for pink. When CHAPPELL ROAN performed at Tiny Desk, I thought it was perfect and I just love it. I love pink. I love the prom queen look, the Betsy Johnson vintage dress, or at least I think it is Betsy Johnson. Head to toe, it is absolutely campy but also glamorous, and it's right up my alley. The goal here is to translate the character onto the doll, like the makeup and everything, and not so much realism. Although I do try to capture a semi-realism look, that is often not the goal. I absolutely love CHAPPELL's looks because of the makeup that they do. It's always so campy, draggy, glamorous, and just over the top. And I feel like that's also why I love this look so much. Before we start this fabulous doll, I want to say a huge thank you to YouGov for sponsoring this video. I'm sure you guys have heard me mention this brand on my channel a few times before. YouGov is a great way to earn extra cash simply by doing surveys online. I like to do surveys during crafting downtimes while waiting for dolls to print or paint to dry. It's free to join and so easy to use. You'll get points for the surveys you complete, and those points get turned into real life cash or rewards. YouGov basically funds all of my morning caffeine needs and even some Amazon purchases for doll supplies. YouGov is a great life hack and a side hustle, and it's great to give my opinions somewhere where it actually matters. Tap my link down below to take surveys and start earning cash on YouGov. And again, thank you so much to YouGov for sponsoring this video. Now let's get started with the doll transformation. I'm so excited that I was able to find two dolls from my stash, my doll collection, that I can use for CHAPPELL ROAN. For the face, I will be using the iconic Anne Hathaway as Marana from Alice in Wonderland live action, which I actually repainted a couple years back. So we're gonna give her a new life. For the body, I will be using this fashionista Barbie. I feel like this Barbie itself is like a hybrid that I've done. So we're just gonna be using the body though, and I feel like it's the perfect blend. Obviously, I'm a little biased as to why I'm using the White Queen's face for CHAPPELL, because she already has the white face, you know, the clown white face, and it's perfect for this makeup look. And for the longest time, I actually wanted to snatch this outfit, this beautiful dress, and maybe give it to a Silkstone Barbie or a Model Muse Barbie. So I didn't really have any plan for the White Queen's face or like overall doll, but now I do. Of course, before anything else, let's go ahead and prepare our bodies, our dolls for the entire transformation. And as usual, I will be removing the factory hair first. We will be giving her a wig, and I'm also going to be removing the face up that I did for her in 2016. Surprisingly, despite this being one of my earlier works, it actually held up really well. As you can see, I kind of have to scrape the face paint off, which is really cool that, you know, it's pretty sturdy throughout the years. Unfortunately, it did stain this doll's head, which is normal. Obviously, we're using pigments. Of course, before anything else, we need to work on her wig, and she is literally wearing a wig for this look. I love the color of the hair, I love the accessories in it, the moving butterflies, the burnt cigarettes. It's just so campy, and it's also so glamorous, and I'm so excited to tackle this in doll scale. And I actually found this yarn, which I think is like the perfect color match for CHAPPELL's wig. It literally is. I mean, at least from the screen, it looks exactly the same. This yarn is extra silky, and hopefully we can get really long pieces with this one. I want the vibe to be the same. I want it to be a messy, teased up hair. It's giving very 80s. It'll be so good. Of course, I will be using a wig cap for this so that it is removable. And as usual, I start to glue the hair wefts starting from the bottom in the back of her head. and we're working our way up. I am giving her this kind of like styrofoam bump it just to make it easier for the tease look. Although you can backcomb and tease yarn, I'd rather have this area be a little bit more structured and a little bit more like form to it. I really love the color of this yarn. It just changes with the lighting, and I just love how it's like red in one lighting, it's brown in one lighting, it's orange in another. It just has so much dimension to it for some reason, and it is also very smooth. It's very delicate, and it's just so soft. So sweet, I wanna dream about you, but can't sleep 'cause I want it to be true. Now I'm curling it using my heated metallic chopstick, and she doesn't really have ringlets, it's more on like waves. So of course we're going to be brushing this out, separating the curls, and giving it a little bit more of a laid back look. I am absolutely loving this wig. It is so big, it is so tall, and it's so like messy glam, but like absolutely perfect. And I just love how wavy it is. It's perfection. And now I think it's time to accessorize it, and she has a lot of freaking accessories for this wig itself. I will be using this crown, which I believe belongs to Rapunzel. I'm not entirely sure, but I thought it was a perfect base for Chappell's tiara, and we're adding a lot of crystals. For the most part, I am using Preciosa crystals, a little bit of Swarovski here and there, the ones that I have left. I really wanted to push the glamour, the prom beauty pageant look for this crown, and for that you have to use like really good quality crystals. I know that in terms of scaling, this is a little bit bigger on the doll compared to the scale that Chappell was wearing. But honestly, I kind of lived for it because it's a little bit more draggy drag, it's a little bit more beauty pageant vibes, and I'm obsessed with it. For in between the gems, I am gluing glitter into it just to use as a filler, but it's still also very sparkly. For her butterfly clips, I am using this acrylic nail art butterfly charms, I believe. I just thought it was the perfect scale that could match as a hair butterfly clip, and I just added a bunch of pins into it. And I am painting it silver so that it looks metallic, and we will be covering it in glitter. Unfortunately, their wings don't flap like the ones Chappell was wearing, but I thought it's perfect, and some of them actually had kind of like pink gems to it, so I just added some pink gems onto some of these ones as well. For her necklace, I will be taking this plastic packaging and we will be cutting a butterfly shape out of it. And I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing that I did for her hair accessory. Paint it silver, cover it in glitter, and add some pink gems onto it. And I believe this necklace is actually a Betsy Johnson necklace as well. Let's make the cigarettes in her hair, and I'm just using some Q-tips for that one, just bending it and all of that. And I thought it was just kind of like the perfect width and size, and of course we have to paint in the details. And yeah, I thought this was kind of fun, and of course we're making it look like it's been used, it's been burnt, and it's been smoked. One of them actually had kind of like a lipstick stain onto it, so I thought that was kind of fun. She also has this kind of like fuzzy ball with like a dangling chain on her hair. So I'm just taking a pearl and also this fuzzy ball that I'm cutting, and I will just be gluing the pearl onto it. Like, we're gonna cover this pearl with this fuzzy stuff, so it kind of looks like fur or feather and all of that. And then after that, we will be adding some dangling chain, which I also glued gems to it. It's supposed to be butterflies, but come on, like in this scale, we cannot get butterflies in this scale. I also made her earrings, which is made out of an actual earring of mine. Again, I just attached some chains to it and I glued some gems onto it. These are supposed to be heart shapes on Chappell, but come on, like again, we have a whole scaling issue. I have also made her some hair clips. These are so fun. These are so cute. They're made out of packaging, glitter, and gems. I am absolutely so obsessed with the accessories, specifically the butterflies and also the cigarettes. I don't know why the cigarettes are cracking me up, but like in a good way. Like there's a story. I love that this look has a story. I don't know what the story is, but you know, there's a story. Now it's time to work on a little bit of a body modification. So I actually wasn't planning on modifying this Barbie's waist, but I do think she needs a little bit of cinch in the waist to accommodate the bulk of the costume, specifically like the bodice of the costume. Especially if the costume is super well made, naturally it will create some bulk. So I think a little bit of cinch will do the job. And for that, we will head over to the kitchen and we will do the boiling method. I don't usually prefer this method just because it is unpredictable sometimes, but because we're trying not to be drastic anyway, we just want a little bit of pinch in there. I think this method would suffice. Usually you want to wrap your doll with some sort of fabric, and for this one I'm using kind of like a fleece fabric just because I feel like it is pretty thick and it will protect the doll from too much damage. So we're just wrapping it up and we will be wrapping a bunch of rubber bands onto it. And you want to make sure you use kind of like an industrial grade rubber band. Wait until the water is boiling and then you want to submerge your doll in there, and you want to make sure that you do not leave your doll in there too long. Just, you know, take them out, you know, squish it using pliers or whatever tool is easy for you guys, and maybe dunk them back in. Like this is like the process. And for this one, I was pretty happy with the results and I thought, you know, we're good to go. Just be mindful when you are doing the boiling method that it may open up the sides, like the seams of your doll. And also, she's going to be wider from the side view because obviously we are pushing the plastic together. We're not necessarily taking anything out. The plastic is gonna have to go somewhere. Okay, yeah, the boiling method is really not for me. I would really rather hack and saw and, you know, put it together with clay, but for some people it works for them. I don't know why it just doesn't work for me as much. You can't control it. It's so hard to predict because it's covered up and I don't know. There's so many elements. But I was able to get the cinch that I think will work for the costume, so I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to give her some tattoos, and it was actually kind of difficult to find reference photos for this that are clear and like big and HD. And for the most part, I feel like they are fine line tattoos. You know, they have stars, balloons. We're gonna try my best to capture them. Of course, I sprayed her arms first with Mr. Super Clear so we can actually draw on it. And I am just taking my watercolor pencils to map it out. Again, I tried my best to look up reference photos and all of that. And for the most part, I was kind of like filling in some elements here and there. I was just kind of making it up, but I was trying to obviously keep it in the same theme of Chappell's tattoos. After that's mapped out, we can now go back with our black watercolor pencil and outline everything. Her tattoos are all like fine line black ink, so I thought it was kind of cool and just kind of graphic to draw them. And yeah, it was kind of satisfying. And we are finally done with the tattoos and they look absolutely amazing. I hope I was able to capture them as close as I can. You know, they're floral, butterflies, heart shapes, twinkling stars here and there. And I thought they were just really, really cool. I think it is finally time to work on her Vassage and give it a makeover, which is my favorite part in any doll transformation, and I am so happy that this face is already white. This is when Disney was doing a lot of live action dolls, and they were really giving these dolls ultra realistic features. We all know how Emma Watson's Belle doll looked, and it wasn't the best. So the main challenge is to definitely try and dragify this and give it the Chappell Roan Vassage, the Chappell Roan vibe, and the Chappell Roan face. Like her tattoos, we will be mapping out the features and the face first with a lighter color pencil, just so that it's easier to erase when mistakes are often made. And I am now going in with the colors and just kind of like mapping everything as much as I can. And of course, as usual, I try to work in multiple layers of Mr. Super Clear just so that we can really get a vibrant color and really rich details. I was really trying my best not to draw her lips into the 1940s realm that I often do, which is very pouty because at this point she is looking very, very Queen of Hearts, which is not a bad thing, and it's actually kind of apropos. I was like, okay, I need to contour her with like normal contour colors like brown, and I think adding that actually grounds this overall look a little bit, and it's not as Alice in Wonderland, you know? I don't think she had this, but I will be adding some highlighter on her, of course, because it's me, it's my doll. I have to, although you're probably not even going to be seeing it, but it's important that I see it in person, you know? She had a bunch of gems glued onto her eyelids, and also she does have a nose piercing, but I couldn't use an actual gem for it, so for that I will be using some glitter, and in doll scale, it's going to look like a gem. After the lashes are dried, of course, I will be trimming them, but while we wait, let's go ahead and gloss up her lips. I am absolutely obsessed with how this face turned out. I just got carried away with the blue eyeshadow, and now it is time to highlight her vêtements, which I commissioned from That Plastic Biz on Instagram. I am super thankful that they were able to accommodate this super last minute request. The craftsmanship is top notch as usual, and I am super excited to work on this outfit. I mean, the only thing I need to work on is add roses to it, because everything else is done. So I am just gluing a bunch of roses onto this bubble skirt. Chappell's skirt is actually a little bit more subtle than this one, and from afar it's gonna look just kind of like a texture, and I believe the roses are a part of the fabric, but it's a little bit difficult to get that onto doll scale, so using these roses will suffice. Oh my gosh, this costume, this look, this overall vibe is just perfection. It's literally like a mini Chappell Roan in the flesh. It's literally like she's here on my tiny desk singing. You know what I mean? Like, it's perfection. It's really giving Pink Pony Club, it's giving Hot to Go, it's giving Red Wine Supernova. It really is such a feminine phenomenon. For the shoes, I actually cannot find any full pictures of this outfit at all. So she could be wearing a sandal, she could be wearing a sneaker, she could be wearing Crocs. I have no idea. Overall, with the vibe that she's going, I think a platform heel would be perfect. A pink platform heel. If anything, I'm just gonna add like butterflies on it to match like the butterflies on her head. Using an X-Acto knife, I'm just taking out this puff over here from this Barbie shoe, and I'm trying to smooth it out as much as possible, and then I am gluing the butterfly onto it, and then we can finally paint it pink. And you guys know I embrace the pink and red color combination, so she will receive some red bottoms. We are almost done, and I cannot wait to show you guys this, so let's go ahead and finish it up. And of course, we cannot forget about the nails. I'm using hot glue to give her some good long acrylic nails, and this one is going to be in red.
You've been paying rent here in my head. Tried to fight it off, tried to hold my breath. I keep holding back, trying not to crash right into you. But you look at me like you know something I don't. It's almost like you see where this thing's gonna go.